Hey, welcome to the Future Proof Leader podcast. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Jessica Raypatch, the co-founder of Twin Legacy Solutions, a company specializing in AI and leadership solutions that helps organizations build our client outreach, stronger teams, and future-ready leaders. Today, I'm so excited to welcome owner of Cooksey's Lifeguarding, Haley Church, who brings a powerful perspective to today's topic, rethinking pricing strategies, a fresh approach to profitability. Haley, we're honored to have you here today. Thank you so much for joining the Future Proof Leader. I'd love to kick things off with you, just telling us a little bit about yourself and your organization and what you do.
Hi, I'm excited to be here. So I own two companies kind of under the same umbrella, Cooksey's Lifeguard and Swim, which does contract management mostly. So we do lifeguarding, pool attendance for country clubs, hotels, yacht clubs, YMCAs, school districts, basically you name it. If they need somebody to come in and take over their aquatic program or kind of supplement their aquatic program, then we come in and we take that over. We also do private events and swim lessons. That is mainly through our other company, our sister company, Happy Swimmers. And Happy Swimmers is throughout the US in most major cities.
Wow, that's wonderful. Sounds like you're How long have you been in business again, Haley? Can you remind me?
My business partner and I started in 2011. And then we acquired Happy Swimmers from the owner who had it since 1991, 3 years ago. So this will be our fourth summer with Happy Swimmers.
Wow, congratulations. Wow. Sounds like your company's thriving then. That's great. You have a lot to offer to different services. The first thing I'd like to get your perspective on regarding our topic today is how have customer expectations around value and pricing shifted in recent years? So you've been in business for 10, 11 years, and what does that mean for your profitability?
Yeah, so it's definitely shifted a lot. People, though it's kind of always been the same, which people see, a high price for an hour and they're like, whoa, I could hire my cousin to look at the pool for $11 an hour. And we always go, you can definitely do that, but you
Yeah.
don't have insurance, they're not certified, nobody's looking after them. They don't have any of the umbrella that we do.
So what does that mean for your profitability? Has this been a struggle? Like, do you see, not just you, just other, I'm sure you're a owner, so you see other, like the whole industry itself. Has that been affecting profitability with the shift and how people view value over time?
I think that because of the way we've structured the companies, it we haven't seen that. We raise our prices accordingly, but we never try to gouge people. So we're raising it and it is getting higher, but it's not getting exponentially large. We talk to a lot of other companies or know about a lot of other companies that just kind of skyrocket their prices and then they have to go out of business. Um, so we've stayed at the threshold where we still make money, we still make profit, and we teach our clients how important we are to them and why they should go with us instead of hiring their cousin from down the street.
Yeah, I can definitely see the safety concern in that too. So we've entered an AI-driven era. Everybody's talking about it. It's been a big buzz on our podcast, and everybody we're AI companies, so they want to hear. So we've entered this era. Many organizations are starting to adapt AI in some form. Are you currently using AI to improve your client base or your operations? And if so, has this had an effect on your profitability?
It hasn't had an effect on our profitability, but I do use it, and I know my business partner does too. And it's definitely been helpful to us in a lot of ways. Sometimes I think the biggest thing that it helps me with is sometimes when people are really upset or they're making me upset, I try to do an email and it's pretty to the point, and I'll put that in and I'll be like, "Hey, can you make this a little bit, still to the point, but a little nicer and more professional?" I think that's when I use it the most. And then obviously using it to, hey, I have kind of this idea. Can you kind of elaborate on how it can help me implement it? Stuff like that. It's definitely been useful.
Nice. So you're using AI in kind of for communication and just to help you kind of with your ideas and on your company to expand it in that way to make it more valuable. Have you used AI with like tracking business expenses or getting new clients in? Have a lot of people are starting to use AI lead generation systems to get more clients coming in? Like, have you entered in that realm at all? Or
I haven't yet. No, we haven't yet. I'm sure there's a lot to explore. We've been doing most of the stuff just by ourselves still, or with our team,
yeah,
not using AI, but definitely open to using it.
right. So I love your company works with the younger generations. Like what age range would you say that your lifeguards are?
Most lifeguards are, high schoolers, junior. So we don't hire below 16. So 16 is the youngest. And then I'd say most of them go up to 25. We have a lot that are older that stick with us for a long time because we do have year-round work. But the huge chunk majority, especially the Cooksey side with the manager, with the aquatic management, is all really young kids.
That's amazing. I have a background in teaching as well. So I'd love to see owners and CEOs' perspective on how the leadership dynamic is. How has your leadership development been over time with your younger employees? And then you have a good mix there. So that's pretty cool that you can see the dynamic. Is it different? Your company is very prides itself in making sure that the you have a lot of training and development in your lifeguards to make sure
Mhm.
they're not only educated but also responsible. Leadership development wise, how has it changed to develop your lifeguard leaders at a younger age versus the ones that have been sticking on for quite a long time?
It's just changed because we've gotten better and older ourselves. When I started the company, I was, I don't know, 21 maybe. So a 21-year-old leading people is different than me now,
Yeah,
and I have a lot more experience. So I think in that, just because of that, like the leadership development in our company has grown a lot and switched a lot. And we really pride ourselves on, we don't want this to just be a job. We want people to take this and to learn and grow and help them professionally develop so that they can understand the working force moving forward. Because a lot of kids now, they don't really know, or they're not really taught just because of kind of the way things are.
yeah,
So, teaching them, you have a shift, you have to show up. And if you don't, you're not going to have a job.
right.
And if you need, me to talk to you so that you can write a paper about a business, then I'll sit and I'll have a long interview with you so you can write. And just kind of helping them with anything they need, I think has been really beneficial, because when you think of it like that, then they will work well for you. They're going to do great things for you and your company. They're going to stick around longer. They're going to, become managers, become lifeguard instructors, and then move on. And still, when they get a position somewhere else, they're going to think about you. And they're going to be like, oh, I need a lifeguard now, or I need swim lessons for my kids, and it's just kind of that cycle that I love.
I couldn't agree more. When you invest in your leaders, the topic's all about profitability, right? So I love
Mhm.
what you said. You take the time to nurture your employees, you invest in them. It sounds like I'm like a one-on-one basis, which is just totally amazing. And that kind of helps profitability in the long run, right? So you're
Mhm.
nurturing them when at a younger age, and then especially ones that like you said, go on, maybe do their own lifeguarding thing, move on to corporations, maybe aquatic centers, and then they hire you back and like, oh, that organization was very uh, invested in my leadership and got me to where I am today. So that's incredible.
Mhm. Also, when they go out and they work for you, they have all of this knowledge about the company. Then when they go to, say, a private party or something, they're going to be talking to people, talking up the company. Those people are going to then come back and hire us for their own parties. So that helps with profitability too.
That's amazing. So if you could go back and start your pricing model from scratch, would you do anything differently? And if so, what would you do? If you could start all over. I know you started at 21, so
Yeah, when we first started, we were charging $12 an hour. So our first contract that we got, They called us, and we had just been doing backyard parties and stuff at that time. And they called us and they were like, hey, we need a lifeguard for our summer camp for 4 weeks every day. Do you guys do that? And we're like, yes, absolutely. And me and my business partner were like, I don't know, what can we work for? Just in college, I don't know, $12 an hour sounds good
Yeah.
because we really want it. So we did it. And then we kind of just built there was no pricing structure, right? Now we have it pretty much to a T. So I don't think, unless I talk to a financial analyst, I don't think there's anything that we could do differently. My business partner set up for contracts specifically, set up an employee calculator, he calls it. And basically when people come to me and they give me the hours, we do everything by minimum hours. So they come to me and they're like, oh, we need you for 1,000 hours. I plug it into our employee calculator and it basically auto calculates everything for that specific area. So if it's in Florida, it takes the taxes of Florida, any specific things that they charge, and it puts it all into the employee calculator on top of all of our overhead costs, such as like scheduling system, stuff like that. And then it gives me a price per hour and then I use it. So the pricing structure is pretty good on that now. We have it, set to a T.
Oh,
and then as far as our private events and our swim lessons, we do a lot of research with what other companies are doing to keep it. We always want to keep it in the middle. We never want to be too high or too low. So just kind of keeping it like that, but also never raising it a lot. Like maybe we'll raise it $5 every few years an hour.
And you've seen that you've had the clients that you do get, or do you retain those clients with your method?
We do. Yeah, we do. For the contract side, since we've been doing it, we really got into the niche before anybody else was doing it, thankfully. So because we were one of the first people that were doing it, we are now so big that our costs are lower. People that are coming in now, they have an insurance of 15,000 and they have one contract, they would have to charge that contract up $50 an hour all summer long. But we have, we've built up our team. Our team is split in a bunch of different contracts. So we're able to keep those prices low.
So that definitely sets you apart from your competitors that way. So
Yeah.
timing was really helpful for you guys too. That's
Yes.
amazing. So what advice would you give leaders who want to improve their profitability without sacrificing customer relations? Any feedback on that?
If you're giving a good product or a good service, you should never skimp on your pricing, but you should never gouge. It's this fine middle line of, I'm not going to charge them so much where they are like, wow, I've been paying this much money per year. I'm going to find a competitor that's lower. But also you're not so low where you're not making any money and able to support yourself. So it's this middle ground of knowing the two sides and knowing what's best for your profit and service, but also teaching your clients how important you are to them and teaching them how they need you in order to sustain themselves, because other companies don't do it better. And just constantly changing what you do to make sure that you are giving them the best service or product. Because if you're not changing, you're not going to make it eventually. Like maybe your product or service is great now, but 10 years down the line, somebody's going to do it better. So Sam and I are always changing stuff and making it better and asking people, there are people that work for us, their opinions on how to make it better. And I think just that kind of, I know that's a long-winded answer, but that kind of formula is what will help you choose the correct price.
Right. Oh, I couldn't agree more with you. I feel like value should drive everything. If you're doing a really good job, your pricing should just justify that, and they should know based on the services they're getting and the quality of communication, reliability, and just seeing your lifeguard show up and how that they perform should be justification enough. And you could get it cheaper, but you might compromise quality, right? It's like anything else, you get I was just talking to my husband about this. We have a couple of house renovations. It's like you get the lowest price, the mid-level price, and then the high end, I call it the bougie price. Um, some people just always go with the lowest price, but it's like, what materials do I get? What are they going to come on time? Were their communication there? All those things really,
Hmm.
really matter when it comes into, and you can't underestimate yourself either, because I
No.
believe
So what do you go with? What do you go with now? Do you go with the
I
middle
I
price? You go with the high?
there's sometimes it depends. So if it's like a main feature of like my main level of my house or something, I always tend to go on the higher end if it comes with the promise that this person showed up on time, they called me. It's a little bit higher because the materials are better. And you know what you're getting. When you meet a company owner like Haley, I'm meeting you today, like I could already tell you're very personable, easy to work with, and you showed up on time. Those things matter so much to me. And the low price guy might be the one that shows up and is calling back the next day and
Yeah.
stuff and has quality, and maybe he's just starting
Maybe
out.
they're
I don't know.
just maybe they're just starting out. Yeah.
Exactly. So it really does depend. Like I take the time to, like, I hope any company does, to point out those things. You mentioned a example in Florida. Now, do your services span beyond California?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So Cooksey's Lifeguard, we have contracts. We have a bunch in Southern California, but we have Northern California, New York, Oklahoma, Texas, Philadelphia, Philadelphia. I think that's it. Maybe some more. And then Happy Swimmers is a bunch, like basically all of the big metro areas throughout the US, which
Amazing.
is us doing private events and swim lessons for people.
Yeah, as a mother of young children, I know how difficult it is. You have the big box YMCA and stuff like that, and it's hard to get into these lessons. Like, it's incredible.
Yeah, and good swim instructors are just the most difficult thing to find. Like I still do swim lessons because with one family because they're like, please do not leave us. Like, and then they keep having more kids. Like, I
Yes.
really want to be done,
Yeah. Well,
but
that's
it's
great. You
hard to
have a great
find.
network right there. I've been through three different attempts to do swim lessons with my children, but I haven't loved any of them. So I know.
If you want to do it yourself, Sam and my business partner and I, we built a swim lesson program on how to teach kids how to swim last year. It's completely online.
Really?
And we got done with it like right when we were just dying in work in pre-summer stuff,
Yeah.
but it's like ready and done. So
That's actually really amazing. So a lot of people where I live, I'm in New York, of course, the land of the cold. Um, in the summers, they're really nice, but a lot of people struggle here to find independent swim instructors that will come to their home, and they have pools, so they're looking for that. So that's a great ending, because right now, because I didn't know this, why don't you take like a couple minutes and can you tell us where to find your business? Is it like, do you go online? Like, how would I sign up for something like that?
yeah. So we have two websites for the sister companies. One is cookseyswim.com,
Okay.
and then the others is happyswimmers.com.
Okay.
So both of those websites, we will take you to all of our services. You could do lifeguard, you could see lifeguard training, CPR trainings, um, private event stuff, swim lesson stuff, and then the videos as well are on both of them.
So if I'm a company looking to get a contract for some lifeguards on my site, I can go to the website, just find everything there, as well as if I'm an individual mother trying to find personalized training for myself, for my children, I can everything in one site.
Yep. Yeah, we kind of made it so even if one company is doing the main thing, like for instance, Cooksey's is only doing contract management,
Hmm.
but this past year I added the page onto Happy Swimmers, which is Cooksey's does contract management, and then so they're both kind of, even though they're separate, they're linked in terms of services.
Amazing. Okay, great. Wow. I learned a lot, and I love what you're doing. So I just want to thank you for being a guest today. Thanks for joining us and sharing your insights, leadership perspective on the topic of profitability. I think we align on a lot of things that you talked about today. You added a lot of value to our conversation in developing those future ready leaders. I love that. And to our listeners, thank you again for spending time with us on the Future Proof Leader. We appreciate you being part of this community. So I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Bye, Haley.
Thank you. It was nice to talk to you.
You too.